Gentlemen, please welcome Chief Operating Officer for Made in America, Brad Winnings.
Well, I thought I'd come out here and start clapping maybe for myself, but actually, I want to give everybody here a huge round of applause because you guys are amazing. Truly, truly amazing things that we've saw just in a couple of days. If I can get one favor, and I'm going to kind of go off script for a second, I'd like to get Jonathan Holliday to come right here in the front of the stage for me, please. I'd like Ron and Carol Eggerichs to come here to the front of the stage, please. I'd like Kayla Camps to meet me on the stage, please. I'd like Bernadette Klinko to meet me in the front of the stage, please. I don't know if she can hear me back there because, to be honest with you, I was waiting for that boogity, 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 and I didn't get to hear it. Did he do it? Oh, man. Give Daryl Mike. I need some help. Can I get Debbie to come to the stage, please? And can I get also Morgan to come to the front of the stage, please? So do we have Debbie and Morgan? Please come to the stage. Clean up in aisle 3. We need some like Jeopardy music or something, right? There she goes. She's running. She got that from Jonathan. What's that? Oh, you think I was going to forget Jason? Are you sure you thought I was going to forget Jason? Is your brother up there? You want him? You want to call for him? Jason Blunt, come to the front of the stage, please. I can make an inter-office joke again, but most of you wouldn't get it, but it would have to do with an apple pie, so I can make all of my staff laugh really hard. And I can make also a joke a little bit about the fluorescent lights and everything that we do. But I want to let you know, I also need one more person to join me on the stage, and that would be Don Buckner, the president, founder, and CEO of MadeInAmerica.com. Please stand and give him a warm welcome. USA, 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 USA. Listen, this is a great staff. Let me tell you, see this right here? You guys don't really realize this right here? This put this on. Right? The amazing things that you see today, this right here made this happen. These are amazing, talented people. If you did not know that, we also have alliance partners too. I'll do that too. If you did not know that, our office, and when you come to our office and you think about a lot of these things that we do, but really the day-to-day operations of what we did inside our office came from this. And when we started this project with Don, and we made a long trip to Indianapolis, and Jason posted the first Facebook photo of me standing on the Indianapolis Colts field, and 3 seconds later, they told me to take it down. Because evidently, you have to follow certain rules before you can post pictures of what you're doing. So it's been an amazing, wonderful challenge. And when you think about what we just accomplished in just a matter of 7 months, it's an amazing miracle. Now, I'd like to thank our staff, but we also like to thank God. God plays a big role in this, and we pray every morning in our office. We have Bible study in our office, and we're not afraid to say that. And that's thanks to Don Buckner, because he's a true leader and patriot on that. We also had some additional affiliate partners. And I'm not going to list them all because my mic is all jacked up. But I want to let you know that it's been an amazing, amazing time. So I wanted everybody to have a chance to see actually who made this happen. And I wanted them to thank you for what you've done. We're never giving up, right? We want to be able to step forward, and we're going to need your help in order to do that. We may not have all the answers all the time. We may not be perfect all the time, but we are going to continue to try to move this momentum forward and make America's manufacturing and products #1 again and make our nation great. Please give it up for our staff at MadeInAmerica.com. Have a seat. So I'd like to turn the mic over to Don for a second and let him share his few thoughts, and then we'd like to talk about some awards tonight, and then we'll move forward, and we'll try to get everybody out of here early so we can go to the concert across the street. Just kidding.
Okay, Brad, I have no idea what to say because they didn't give me any notes, so somebody give me something to say, will you? No, thank you, Brad. I appreciate that. You're exactly right. This team, amazing team, individuals exceeding group of people that could not be done, and most of all, this guy right here, countless 16-hour days to make this happen. Thank you, Brad. You're a machine. You really are. The most organized guy I know, the hardest working guy I know. He doesn't take flattery very well, so.
Well, I'm made in the USA.
That part's true.
Right. Hardworking, innovative, all those things we talk about.
Personally, for me and from everybody here, thank you for what you've done.
Thank you.
Because the class of this organization, the prominence that's here, and the flash, and all the digital that you see, all the graphics, all the show book, everything you see out there was because of this guy right here. All in-house, all in-house. Very talented, very dedicated, very loyal to what we're trying to do. And we're so excited to have him part of the team. God brought us together 2 years ago on the Gator World project, which we had a lot of fun putting Gator World together. If you don't know, that's our other business in Wildwood, Florida. Please come and make a donation, if you will. We have
only $22 for adults, $19 for kids. You get to hold the alligator. Yeah. Picture with the gator, hold a gator, feed a gator, and be on your way. Thank you very much.
And free for active duty military.
Oh, yes,
That's right,
definitely.
That's right. At 400 alligators, if you've never seen an alligator, you want to make sure you come see one. They're terrifying. So you want to make sure you hold one, right? It's an interesting business. Again, Gator World, many years ago, had a guy tell me that was the third thing somebody wanted to do when they come to Florida. Disney Beach, #3 was see an alligator. I said, oh, business opportunity. Well, little did I know that what that would involve, right, Brad?
Hey, that's true. That's true.
So I'm overwhelmed. I can't tell you how many people, and just by show of hands, how many of you thanked me? How many of you came up, personally thanked me? There's literally hundreds of hands up. I've been to a lot of trade shows. I don't know if I've ever thanked the organizer. I told him the carpet was crap or something, something was wrong. Not a single complaint. You guys are amazing. Today we had a little incident. We had some street hustlers out here selling China-made product. Fortunately, I had Josh behind me. You see how big Josh is. The guy bowed up to me and was ready to take me on. He says, what do you mean? Nobody told me I couldn't sell China-made products here. Are you that dumb? He was. But they were street hustlers, and there was another group the same thing, and we politely asked them to leave with the police department, and they left. So we had to do that. I told them, I said, listen, you're deceiving. You're deceiving people who walk through that door that we've invited to come be part of this. They expect everything in this show to be made in the United States. And you're deceiving them. You're making me look bad. You're making the rest of the people look bad. It can't be tolerated. They were not going to leave. I mean, they were very belligerent about it. And, regrettably, we had to get the police involved. And that's what I'm trying to, I hope you understand, the pureness of this event must be maintained. So if you have anything in your world that, whether it's your product or something that's not kosher or makes it right in this, please police yourself, because I tell you how it happened. I was on this end of the show, and an attendee came from all the way from the other end and said, Don, there's somebody selling Chinese-made products. They didn't know me from Adam. So what I'm telling you is, and they drugged me over there, and what I'm telling you is that the people who buy American-made products feel violated because it's blasphemy, right? They feel violated for it's being portrayed as one thing and it's another, right? So I'm just telling you that the people, the consumers, will police this. In fact, the Commerce Department right now, and you should go to and put your input, they are reconsidering writing the rules on all or mostly all. My concern is that they're writing the rules the wrong way. They're diluting that. Why? There's a lot of influence that's not us. A lot of influence. And so I'm worried that they're diluting those rules. So if you get the chance, you want to make sure they did a workshop. They're in the process of rewriting those rules, rewriting those words. That's one thing we can do together. We'll put a link up on the website so that you can do that, because our voice needs to be heard. Last time I looked, there was only 13 comments. 13 people putting their input on what that rule should say. You need to have an input on what that rule should say, because if we don't, there are people that have a lot more influence than we do, believe it or not, that will write that rule the way they want it. There's already rules. You've seen this morning, if you were here for Rosemary's presentation, how many were here for that? Terrifying. 80% of our drugs no longer made here, not only made here, but made in China. It's a security issue that is, it's actually a dire situation, and things have to be turned around. And if we don't turn those things around, we are so beholden to other countries right now. We're already in a bad shape. We're already in a bad position. So it's up to us as consumers. Expect the labeling to be right. Expect all the origin to be right. It's up to us to demand that with politicians, your lawmakers, your policymakers. They're the ones that make the difference. They're being influenced every day. The largest lobbyist group in Washington is the Chinese. They understand payola. They understand how that works. They don't play fair. So we have to have our influence. We're going to eventually have enough voting bloc and create enough influence to be able to do such a thing, and this is just the spark. So I just pointed out a few things that we can do to get involved and help besides just the trade show. I know the moral support, you guys, some moral support for each other. I hope you've made some friends that you can reach out to, some lifelines. You're no longer on an island. You're not on an island. You're not part of an island. You are part of something bigger. I was inspired to buy these domains 20 plus years ago. Had no clue what I was going to do with them. But through a path of series of events and miracles and people coming into my life, made this possible. God made a way. There's a path. We're on it. When we've started this, I told Misty, my wife, beautiful wife, I said, Misty, I'm 57 years old. Do I really want to start another business? Do I really want to put at risk our personal savings to do this? You know what she said? She said, that's why you're here. The unwavering support of that woman is why we're here. If she'd have shut it down, we wouldn't be here, trust me. But we put our personal finances at risk. We put a lot of things at risk. The rest of my life, I've decided a long time ago I wasn't going to retire. Brad, you're not either. And so we've decided that this is our purpose. This is our mission in life. And I'm so glad to be here. Final thing I want to say, Brad, before we get on this long mission of handing out these awards and recognizing these people that so richly deserve the recognition that we're about to give, is that I want to make sure and personally invite each of you to be here tomorrow morning, 9:30, to make sure we hear our special guest, Pastor Rafael Cruz. He's got a great message to come. We've talked briefly about it, but there's a reason he's here. There's a praise and worship team that's coming. They're out of Nashville. They're going to set up tonight, get the sound check in. They're dynamic also. So I promise you, you will enjoy that. So, and at the end of the day, that's why we're here, really. That's the truth. So thank you. Thank you, Brad. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for my team. Thank you for you, everything that's here, and all the friends and family. Tony backstage. Thank you, Tony. I don't know if you can hear me, but Tony put this together. This is his, all of his stuff. Little miracle story. Our church, we started a church 2 years ago. We reached out to an AV company that needed some stuff in the church, and it turned out to be Tony's business. And Tony came in, did all the stuff, and he says, "Oh, by the way, I do all the Trump rallies." What? You kidding? I said, I filed that back in the back of my mind. I go, oh, that's a good thing to know. Well, a year later, I reached back out to him. I said, Tony, how would you like to do something like this? He said, heck yeah, I'm in. So Tony, he deserves a lot of credit. He's made a lot of connections. He's helped us connect with a lot of people within the administration. And it's just a God connection, just one of those miracle things that happen. And I could tell you many, many more. And many of you may already know some of those, but I just want to say thank you to Tony. And I could run on forever about those stories, Brad, and I'm sorry I'm running on. So thank you again. Good night. Love you, man.
Yeah. Well, Don, I'm about to get in trouble. You know I'm about to get in trouble for? No, that's not like that. So I'm going to ask my wife to stand.
Oh, she don't like that. She don't like that. She's way over there.
No, I didn't say sit down yet. That's where I get in trouble. So please stand. You guys, it's a lot of work. We're talking about 16-hour days, 8-hour days, sometimes 7 days a week, making trips, trying to fly to get back so I can spend some time. And my wife, amazing person. And it's hard not to be emotional, and Dawn sometimes says I'm emotional, but when you have somebody that actually puts up with you and listens to you bellyache, and you cry, and you go to church, and you come home from work, and but it's tough. It's tough on your family. And Misty, I want to thank you also. I know it's tough, especially living with Dawn, and but really, what Gina really has done, and to come here and support me and this mission, I think that she truly deserves a huge round of applause. I guess we should have bought flowers or something, Don. We would have been a little bit better. But listen, a lot of this goes back to where we're at today and what we're trying to get accomplished. And that's really, it's not about us. It's about, like Don said before, this has been a God mission from day one. And I'm sure, Don, as we go through this and we expand and try to move forward, that there's some amazing stories that's going to come out of this. And some of them have to do with us. It's It's been hard, it's been personal, it's been struggle, it's been loss, it's been gains, it's been favor in such a short period of time, and it's so hard and stressful to do that. But we did it for one reason, right? We did it for you guys, right? We wanted to fill this space. We wanted to take the message of America and say, hey, we're back, right? These American manufacturing jobs are going to come back. We are not going to give up. We are innovators. We are not going to be service providers to everybody. You guys are amazing. As I walked and tried to spend time with you guys, and you shake my hand, and we hug, and some of us cry, some of us pray together, and we see all these opportunities in front of us, really it's about that. This is a God's mission. God has us on a plan, and it's a plan that involves you. So, without further ado, I would like to give out some of these awards tonight. So, Don, if you can help me with this, we would get started. And first of all, we really love veterans. My son is currently serving in the Air Force. He's a crew chief on a search and rescue helicopter. And the veterans are a very special part of us. Even the Gator World Parks of Florida, if you're a current active duty military member, you get in free. If you're a Gold Star family member, you get in free. We understand what the sacrifice that everybody goes through as part of being an active duty person, but really what it has to do is with the commitment and what you guys have stood for. So a veterans-owned business is very important to our economy. So we have a veterans-owned manufacturer award, and that goes to Matt Lyda from 9 Line Apparel. Please cue the footage. Let you give it out.
We built 5 fully handicap accessible homes for disabled veterans. Right now we're building 74 tiny homes for homeless veterans as transitional living, not permanent housing. We want to get them off the street, get them into the tiny home. We have an entire service set up to where we're going to get them an education, get them into a permanent job, permanent housing. We're going to solve the veteran homeless problem that we have in America. Our goal is to not only provide a wonderful product that's made in America, but I believe when we're standing in front of our maker one day, he's not going to ask us about those t-shirts. And we're doing something bigger than that. And that's the part that's my why. That's why I wake up every day and go to 9 Line. The shirts, it's a byproduct of what we're doing in the community.
It's pronounced Lyda, by the way.
I got here at 2:30 a.m., so please give me a little bit
It's
of
okay.
thanks. And yesterday at 2:30, just so we could get Fox in here that did some amazing interviews for us.
And we appreciate that, trust me.
Uh,
Sales have been really good today, so
all right,
thank you
thank
for
you.
that. And but no, I've been called a lot worse, so being called that's not that bad. But I just want to, Don, thank you very much for what you've put on this year. And I hope to see it grow, hope to see it get bigger, because it's very important what we're doing. What I also said in that interview that I don't think got played was what's the most important part of this weekend is I think every one of the companies need to go around and talk to each other and see how we can spend our money with each other. So if we keep it within the community, the tides rise. So we need to make sure that we're doing that. Go communicate with the other vendors, go communicate with the other people, because there's nobody that's a competitor in this room this weekend. We should all be working together any way that we can. And thank you very much. God bless you. Like I always say, go to bed early tonight so you can wake up early tomorrow for church. Thank you.
So the next part of this is, can I just get Clean Fire to come up here for a second? I want to present this award personally on them the stage. Everybody here is from Clean Fire, diesel fuel additive. Can I get all of you guys to come here, please? Are the brothers out partying? Well, this is important. This is an important moment, right, for you?
It is. It's extremely important for me and my family as well. So we appreciate the opportunity and the good people we get to meet during this event and what it stands for. So thank you.
And I just wanted to say that this is going to be another veteran-owned award because of your history of your family. But I truly want to thank you because this morning when I was here early this morning and we talked about some of the stuff and you knew our story, you said something very important to me. And you said, hey, kid, if you have Bible study or pray this morning, can I join you? That meant a lot to me.
It's something that everyone really needs to do in their organizations, in their family, and any type of company or anything where people gather together. You need to keep God in the center and study what He has.
So I just want to make sure that you can take this back to your family, and we really do appreciate you and love what you're doing. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think that there's a couple people that's actually yelled Brad, and once I ducked. The other one, they said, Don's about to get in a fight. And I'm like, what? You got to go help him. He's about to get in a fight. And I'm like, yeah, but he had, that's what I thought. And so I'm like standing there, I'm with Daryl Waltrip, and I'm like, Daryl's like, well, let's go. And I'm like, let's go. So I get up there, and this guy's all irate, and he's like, I want my money back. And I didn't know that this was all American made. This Jonathan guy didn't tell me anything. I'm like, okay, one of your sales staff. I'm like, well, that's easy to pick out. So I said, so he's still being, aggressive. And then I'm thinking, Daryl's right behind me, and I got this. And I looked around, and he's gone. He's boogity all the way to get some autographs, and I'm thinking, well, let's call 911 and get some help back here. And then we had a gracious, the police department here and security did a great job for us. But I think the best line of this is what the cop said to me. He held up the Made in America bag to him and said, this says what? So let's give those guys, those service members and all their security staff, all the catering, the facilities, and let's give those guys, stand and give them a huge round of applause for what they've done for us here today. I'll let you do this next award. It's the Women's Own Manufacturing Award.
I'm just going to let the video play, and then I'll announce.
Can I get the video now for the Women's Owned Manufacturing Award?
To build a mattress that's made from 100% American raw materials, which is unheard of, and to do that with such high quality, to do that and be able to support our local community, that's what I'm proud of. I mean, we aren't probably the best business plan, we build them to last, and we're certainly not doing it for the money, but we are doing something that we can each look in the mirror and be proud of at night.
Lauren Taylor Holder, come on up.
Wow, this is unexpected, and I'm gonna get emotional. But seriously, a woman-owned business, right? A woman-owned, American-made, American-produced business. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to do it. But part of what this show has done for me is collaboration, right? Working together. So I was asked at the very last minute, thank you, Jonathan, to put together an American-made bedroom, which any of you who have ever purchased furniture know that that's really difficult to do in like a week. But nevertheless, we persisted and we decided, you know what, we're gonna make this happen. No matter what it costs, we're gonna figure it out. There needs to be an American-made bedroom, right? And so he gave me some contacts and I was introduced to not just one other women-owned American manufacturer, not two, actually several. And now, not only do I have these people to collaborate with, I have these people that I call my friends. One of them over here I call Aunt Patty. Do you know, I have to tell you this story because I had no idea. I asked Patty to make me a rug. She makes rugs, rag rugs on a loom, hand woven. It says that in the logo. I didn't pay attention to that. And I said, you know, I need a rug. How big of a rug? Because this is a 20 by 20 space. It's a big bedroom. We need a big rug. And she said, oh, well, I can do 12 foot wide. And I said, can you do 12 by 14? Oh, yeah, sure, no problem. She does this by hand. Y'all, I didn't know that's how that worked. I have a quilter. If you want it to be longer, you just don't push the cutoff button quite that quickly. But she did it by hand. So I want to thank Luminaries, hand-woven rugs. I want to thank Emily Morrow Home, who not only provided the flooring for my room, but also for the living room, and it is gorgeous. And some of that wood came from right here in Indiana, my home state. I also want to shout out to Janet from American Blossom Linens, who decided to cover the bed for us. So the best thing about being here and being a woman-owned business is to know that I am one of several, and we are strong, and American manufacturing is here to stay. So thanks to all of you, and thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful job.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
It was amazing. So here we go. Manufacturing Community Award goes to
Being a made in America product in the hardwood flooring industry is becoming rarer and rarer. And I really felt kind of protective of that concept because my husband is a manufacturer in the United States and I know the capabilities that he has. So I felt like it was, kind of exciting and inspiring and an opportunity for me with the economy that was returning to bring a beautiful higher-end product in the hardwood flooring industry, bring it to market.
We have a manufacturing plant in Tennessee, about an hour west of Nashville. It's actually inside a medium security prison. The offenders just work so well and there's so little turnover and they're very dedicated. It's the opposite of what you would think. Love the craft of making hardwood floors. And what we're making, for Emily is the nicest products that me and my team have ever made.
I don't know what he said in his interview, but he probably said I was his favorite customer, right? That's a standing joke. But quite honestly, I'm so grateful. And we are here because of these visionaries who created this event. I personally am here because when I called or emailed in just to inquire about it, I got a quick phone call back and it was Jonathan Holliday, who, just like Lauren Taylor said, and Pat Lucas and Janet Wishnia, these are now lifelong friends. I'm so sorry for your, for your gain because you're stuck with a family now in Dalton, Georgia. But that applies to each of you. This has been a true blessing to be a part of this group. Now, the one thing I need to say about the business, Emily Morrow Home, it is my business, but I started this business because I love what my husband does. And I love his story of using paid, skilled prison labor, many of whom are just, they just made a mistake. And it is a story of redemption and second chances, but they make gorgeous hardwood floors. So it's really a win-win-win situation. But thank you so much for pulling together such an amazing group of people, of entrepreneurs. So thank you for this honor.
Minority-Owned Manufacturers Award.
Born in America, made in America. It's who we are. As a country, we should stand together and build together. I'm first generation. My mom and dad were from Mexico. They migrated here in the, I would say, 40s or 50s. When we were growing up, we'd be with our parents and we'd go out picking the fields. When my parents came here, their drive for business was really, really strong. And I believe I got that through my mom and dad because they were always working. And that's what we were taught to do, is work. I encourage other Latinos to go out and open up their own businesses too.
Is Joe here this evening? Well, there you go.
Just to show you how true this is, I would have shaved if I'd have known I was getting an award. But we've been in business now for about 15 years in Indianapolis. We do powder coating, welding, and fabricating. And it's taken a lot of hard work to get where we are. And I mean, I've met a lot of great people here today. And I met Mr. Buckner's father, Gene. Great guy. We talked a little bit. And I just want to say thank you for your support. And if you want to do business with us and we can do business with you, yeah, let's keep it in America and let's get it made. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
In 2010, I founded the Reshoring Initiative. Mission is to bring back 5 million manufacturing jobs to the U.S. The way we bring manufacturing jobs back, we motivate companies to do it. And so basically it's a question of convincing them to do the math correctly. We document the trend. So we know that in 2010, when we started, 6,000 manufacturing jobs were announced to come back. And in 2017, 180,000 were announced. So it was up by a factor of about 30. I've been in all kinds of national media. We write articles, chapters for books. We get the message out because by companies seeing that reshoring is happening, it motivates them to say, maybe we should look at that too.
Now, Harry Moser has been a true supporter of MadeInAmerica.com from actually about day one. Jason had actually reached out to Don and I and said, hey, this is where we need to go. He's like one of the first guys, and we leaned on him a lot in the beginning. And you know what? You're a true patriot and a great supporter, and we'll continue to support you and your efforts. And we just want to tell you that we're so thankful for you to be a part of us.
Thank you very much.
So I help, but all of you really do the keeping the jobs here and bringing the jobs back. So the applause is really for all of you, okay? I'd like to add my congratulations to all the others, to Don and the rest of the team. The risk that they took a year, 2 years ago was incredible. You know, would I have put my money where Don put it? If I'd had Don's money, would I have put my money where Don put his money? I wouldn't have done it. And I supported them, but I'm amazed how well it succeeded. And the thing that I saw, day after day, week after week, especially as I dealt with Jason, the professionalism, the enthusiasm, the attention to detail, the doing everything right. I saw that, I've been to 100 shows, 200 shows, trade shows, conferences, and this was done as well as almost anyone that I know that had 50 years or 100 years of experience. So I think you were great. Yeah, Darryl talked about jobs coming back. Manufacturing employment today is 3.3 million higher than anyone would have projected 10 years ago. And that's because the rate of offshoring has fallen off dramatically. That's because you've kept the jobs here. And the rate of reshoring has increased dramatically. 180,000 manufacturing jobs in 2017 alone. We document, promote, and enable reshoring. We're happy to help you do that. That's my job. But many of you have reshored. I talked to a bunch of you, and I found Wisconsin Aluminum Foundry, Zoller, Dust and Sew, and Channel Lock, exhibitors here, all of whom told me about a component, a product, or something that they'd reshored. And specifically, I wanted to mention two that I know very well. One was the winner of the National Metalworking Reshoring Award in 2019, and that was Sherrill Manufacturing Liberty Tabletop, group right over here. Congratulations. And the other was the winner of the National Sewn Products 2019 Reshoring Award, which is Unionware. I don't know if Mitch is out there or not, but again, just done a great job reshoring. So I also met several companies that are talking about reshoring, thinking about doing it. We have tools, data, economic evaluations that can help you do that. So any of you that are thinking of bringing more back or that want to sell to other companies and you're competing with imports, we're here to help you. Thank you all very much.
Now for the Invention of the Year Award.
My name is Dan Raymond. I'm the founder of the Boss Hammer Company. This is the first hybrid premium performance hammer of its kind. If you look at this hammer, first and foremost, it's a beautiful hammer. We make 3 models, 16 ounce, 18 ounce, and 22 ounce. This performs all the functions of every other hammer. It's just more than a hammer. You've got all the other tools in there.
Welcome to the stage, Dan Raymond, the Boss Hammer. This morning actually, he gave a presentation to the pitch panel, which wasn't easy. And what he was judged on was a lot of things. One was innovation, product viability, but his presentation was flawless. You could tell the guy practiced for at least hours, and no, he did really well. I went and asked how long he practiced, and evidently he's a natural. So he's got a product that's instinctive, it's industry specific, and just love it. Make sure you check out his product. Thank you, Dan. And it's with a great honor that we give you this award for Invention of the Year.
Hey, I just want to say, can I see that hammer a second? Okay, so is Zach Brown here? Or yeah, can you stand up in it? Is this the hammer you've been carrying around? Are you kidding me? Every time I look at Zach, even going after the guy from China, I'm thinking, I hope he doesn't have the hammer. He's swinging that thing the whole time. I'm thinking, man, he's happy about the coffee, but you need to give him some reps or something because he's been toting this thing around everywhere. But congratulations, seriously.
I'd just like to say we're so thankful to live in a country where we're free to chase our dreams and worship our God, the God that put this in my mind, and thankful to stand shoulder to shoulder with you folks that are about making it in America. Thank you.
Next, the Micro Manufacturing Award.
Maple Landmark was started in 1979 by a guy named Mike Rainville. He was in high school at the time, and he had finished all of his homework and stuff like that, and so his mom had to give him something to do, so she gave him a coping saw and a sand block, and his family was into woodworking. So he had all this wood lying around and he had to do something with it. So he started making spool holders, some basic games, stuff like that. And those were actually sold in his parents' general store. They had owned the general store in the town where the company started. And so he just kind of kept on making stuff and building stuff, and eventually it grew and grew and grew, did craft shows, that kind of thing. And it's grown into a business now that employs around 35, 40 people selling all over the country. So it's been a long journey, but it's pretty neat. And it's worth noting that Mike Rainville is actually my dad. So it's very much a family business too.
Welcome to the stage, the Rainville family with Maple Landmark.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I really appreciate this. Great work. No, we'll go by. But listen, I know that Kayla has done a lot of work with them, so I'm sure that she would like to present that award to them tomorrow when she sees them. So, you know, this has been fun so far. So let's continue. We got a couple more awards to give out. So next is United States of America Armed Forces Award.
The U.S. government had a very big problem with the Abrams tank. Their gun barrels were $150,000 each to produce one gun barrel, and there's 10,000 tanks. So we engineered a brush for them that they still use today. It's been 10, 12 years now that they've been using this brush, and it's saving the government $1.5 billion by not having to buy these gun barrels. And the brushes cost like $150, $200, and so they spend $150, $200 per tank as opposed to $150,000 per tank. And so this kind of technology that we're able to create in making a problem to solve other people's problems is what keeps us special.
So I also like to get Alan to come to the stage for me, please. Can you go ahead and roll that next award for me? The American Patriot Award.
The thing that makes Gordon Brush a special kind of a company is we kind of have the little saying, this is America, we can do anything. We have made brushes that have gone to the moon, we've sent brushes to Mars, they're used for the space shuttle. You know, people still use money, $1 bills, 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, if you get lucky, even hundreds. Believe it or not, the Bureau of Engraving can't make any of the money without our brushes. And the list of things that we do is almost endless. One of the things that is very special to me is I view my employees as kind of like my extended family. When I look back at my life, and I'll be able to say to myself that I did a good job keeping a lot of people employed, keeping their families with a roof over their head, having food on the table. I already feel good about that. And I know later on I'll be touching more people's lives, and I know I'll feel good about it.
You know, this is a very special moment in my personal life and also my career. As I was just saying on the video from that was recorded the other day, I'm really kind of lucky. I'm lucky that I was able to come into a company that had 22 people, and we operated in 15,000 feet. And now over time we've grown to about 200 people and 250,000 square feet. And earlier we had somebody was talking about reshoring. Well, during my almost 30 years with this company, never did I think about moving offshore. I know I could have made more money. I know I could have made my company more successful, but never did it enter my mind, because I'm very lucky that I have a great workforce. I have people working there 30, 40 years. I have children of employees. I just have a wonderful group of people that I feel responsible for. And I just want their lives to get better and better and better. And if I went offshore, they'd be out of a job. So thank you very much, and I appreciate it very much. And Don and Brad, thank you. You've done a great job. Really appreciate it.
The largest Made in America Retailer Award goes to Made in America store, Mark Andol.
2010, the recession hit. By 2010, I was in tough shape, spiraling out of business, and I said, well, I went across the street. There was an out-of-business Ford dealership. I asked the owner, Jay Fisher, would you rent this to me? He said, what are you going to do? I said, open up a Made in America store for our country sold to American worker and people that work with their hands. You know, he nicely said, the world's full of crazy people, Mark, go for it. So a handshake and $1,000. We were in. We're up to 9,000 products to date. 9 years later, and we support 500 privately owned American businesses. Not one publicly traded company makes a product I can sell at my store because we're 100%, we're triple certified. Right down to the glue, the packaging, we drive people crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm guilty of loving America a little bit. Again, I want to thank our veterans first, and a lot are here and those active service. It's what it's all about. I want to thank Don Buckner, Jason Blantz out there, and Brad and your team, because without you and without the vision, God above. Don called me a few times. We've had some texts back and forth. You said at one point you felt alone. I think I said get used to it. No. I think I said saving the country is a lot of work is what I think I said. And it's worth it. But yeah, I had 70 employees, and I had 18 family members, 3 guys I went to kindergarten with, and I got hit by China pretty hard in '07. And I had to close 2 of my 4 manufacturing plants, and it was hard. And open the Made in America store. Our mission is to create and save jobs in the United States of America and increase American manufacturing for our children's future. And I'd like to thank Linda and John and Renee that are with me, my team. But Don, you and your team for what you've done. This is bringing everybody together. We've met a lot of great friends, a lot of great people. Again, we started with 50 products, and people said I was crazy. I called it passion. I think, Don, you've been called crazy a few times. The entrepreneur is the only guy that'll work, or girl, that'll work 100 hours a week so they don't have to work a 40-hour job. That's how I say it. We're one team, one goal, one country, one goal, and thanks to Don and your team. This is what it's all about. This should be world news every night. I support skilled trades. The kids need a purpose. We got to lift that stigma out of the school systems and bring metal shops and wood shops back. All right. Thank you very much for the award. Buy American.
So the next award would be, it's an innovation award, I believe, that we're going to be selecting at the end of the show. Is that correct, Don? That's my understanding. So we'll go with that. I got
fatigue already.
Award fatigue. Well, listen, it takes a lot of work to do this, right? And it takes a lot of passion and commitment, and it also takes support not only from our family members and our kids. And if I can just get wherever the Buckner kids are to stand up real quick, and his daughters and brother-in-laws and everybody, if you could just stand up real quick for me. Now, these kids are really special. They've been special to me. You know, we work together at the Gator Park sometimes. We get to actually hold gators together. They get on the radios. You've probably seen them in here. One of Don's sons said to me, I want to fly the drone. Dad said I could. I'm like, not with all those people in there. So I just want to tell you that it's truly special when you have that time. So I'm also going to ask Dawn's parents to stand. Now, if most of you don't know Dawn's dad, Mr. Buckner, and yet yes, so if you haven't had an opportunity to speak to him, please reach out and talk to him for a while. He likes to talk, and we enjoy those conversations. But can I get not only Misty, but his family members all to join us on the stage real quick? Please come to the stage.
So if any of these, my children, how many of you met my children? Aren't they wonderful? They're amazing. They really are. If you know or don't know, raising good children is not by accident. It is intentional. Kids today, parents today think that raising kids is done by osmosis. It is not. You must have a plan. You must share that plan with your kids and be intentional with your words and your actions. This is the result. My first two were practice. Okay, they're older. Jennifer was practice. But my last four, Misty and I, thank you, Misty, for everything you do. No, she's not my daughter. I get that a lot, by the way. I just want to say thank you to my family, for my parents, for raising me and teaching me to always do the right thing. It means a lot. This little lady right here, amazing Christian lady, brought me up. Of course, parents are what it's about, right? It goes all the way down to my Presley. Presley's our youngest. She's amazing. And this is what it's about, right? Our children, it's our legacy that we're leaving for our children. That's really what this whole thing is about. If we don't fight now and we don't stand up now, our country will slip away from us. And that is what, this is just an example. You guys have families too that are just as solid. And so please, this is why we fight. This is why I get up every day. I tell them, I said, listen, what we do, we must do with intention. We must do with purpose. We must do the best we possibly can. And they do it. They're homeschooled. And so So I'm going to turn the mic over to Nemo. I'm teasing him because he doesn't say much. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. Thank you, family. And I just want to invite everybody again to tomorrow morning, 9:30. Raphael, thank you for being here. Pastor Raphael, we're so pleased to have you here. You made the effort to be here. It means a lot. You have a great message about America and how America, why we are where we are today. And I want to make sure everybody is invited to come. Time to say goodnight?
Yes, so I think that really that we need to do just one more thing. Could you please all stand? First of all, we like to thank every one of you. Second of all, we could not do this without you. And third of all, I challenge you to reach out to somebody in your circle and have them participate in this event next year. And I also challenge you to have them reach out and just have one more person join them. It's each and every one of us done that. We would fill this hall. It doesn't take many people to make a difference, right? But if you look to your left, now look to your right. These are the people that are going to make a difference in our lives, not only for our children, but our grandchildren. So I would like to close it. First of all, please make sure you're here. If you're not here, you're going to miss a powerful message. Second of all, I think what we need to do also is that you know, God bless the USA. So we'll end in our chant of USA, 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 USA. Thank you
Good night,
and good
everybody.
night.
See you in the morning.